is up, Flick fan? Nope. What is up, Flick fans? And welcome back to my channel. I am joined by my longtime friend and Avengers lover, Devin Clevenger. I mean, the guy's got Avengers stuff all throughout his classroom, so he is definitely a big fan. I'm happy to have him on board. Devin, you just watched the movie. I want some pre-thoughts before we get into some hardcore spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, turn away. Devin, how you feeling right now, man?
It's one of those movies that you walk out of thinking, what world am I living in right now?
Yeah. Is everybody disappearing?
Is there, what is life? You know?
Yeah.
It was one of those movies. My initial thoughts right now are, when can I watch the next movie?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that you really, when you leave it, you're thinking, I have to wait a whole another year to watch this movie. I cannot believe that.
That sucks. And this was my second time watching the film, so I was watching the movie, Devin, but I was kind of watching you too. And when that whole end scene happens, we'll get into it here in a second, but your emotions were mine. I got a little teary-eyed again because it's a hard thing to watching all of these characters go through what they went through, and it's just one of those things that I feel like I need to go back and I need to keep watching it. And I'll tell you guys this, I liked the movie just as much as I did the first time watching it. Devin, you definitely need to watch it again, but if you have a favorite moment right off the bat, what was your favorite part or character or just line of dialogue in this film?
Well, one thing I want to say is, you know, me and you have been watching this since we've been in junior high.
That's crazy.
We went through junior high, high school, college, watching these movies together. And a lot of them, for the first time, we watched a lot of these movies together, you know?
Yeah, we did.
So, like you said, it was an emotional roller coaster. There was many times when I seen myself starting to get teary-eyed.
Yeah.
And my heart was, I felt happy, you know.
Dude, mine was pounding out of my chest.
There were some times where I got very, very emotional because it was basically like my childhood, you know.
Absolutely.
I can just see it going away. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Becoming an adult and all that. But favorite character, which you guys don't know this about me, but I'm always a big Captain America fan. Have been since the first movie come out.
Yeah.
I just love what he stands for, the kind of person he is. And he done a very, very good job in this movie. I am kind of jealous now because my girlfriend is really in love with Captain America now. Because
dude, I'm in love with Captain America.
Which as you can see, my beard is not the best, but his beard and his hair in there, he looks very, very hot.
He does, doesn't he?
Looks pretty hot. It makes me pretty disappointed.
He's a good man.
But I will tell you this. I am usually not a big Iron Man fan.
Okay.
I'm usually not. But I seen a side of him in this movie that was a side that I really, really liked. I feel like he was actually a true hero, you know. And there's his attitude, the way he usually is. You start to see he shift over and really start to care for other people. You know what I mean?
Especially Spider-Man. Yeah. Oh my God! Especially.
I mean,
Spider-Man.
and right from the get-go, you know, that one scene when Thanos sends those one guys in, you can see right from the get-go that he goes straight into action. He doesn't even have his he don't even have his suit on or anything. He goes straight into action. This woman falls. He picks her up. He's like, "Let's get straight to work." You know? I don't know what it is, but he just stood out to me this movie.
He is literally, and we've seen it before out of him, but he is actually, I think at this point, the most heroic of the earthly Avengers, because Captain America, you know, Steve Rogers, he's my favorite as well. He's been doing his own thing. He's on these side missions. He's kind of out of the public spotlight. But like you said, and I love what you said because it's something I didn't even think about. When the girl falls and everything's happening, he is the first one out the door. He is the first one that approaches the villains. And it's just so heroic. And it's amazing seeing what Tony Stark was in 2008 and now what he is. Just it's beyond all imagination. He is an absolute hero, and he takes it to a whole new level. So,
and I want you to think about this scene, okay? They are on that spaceship, right? And he says they have the opportunity. He's talking to Doctor Strange, and he's like, Doctor Strange says, turn this thing around. Let's go back to Earth. And he says, no, we need to. I did this before, and people got caught in the way. let's take the fight to him so that we don't have to sacrifice any lives. I mean, that's things that I didn't really see out of Tony Stark, ever before. And I don't know, just things like that stood out to me. I see an Iron Man that is a more mature person instead of this, the young snobby rich guy he was before. That's just how I felt about him when I first met him. But
absolutely,
now it's changed completely.
Well, his arc has come full circle, right? Like I said at the beginning, he's a snob, or what Doctor Strange calls him, a douchebag. I thought that line was fantastic, which is ironic because Doctor Strange himself is a bit of a douchebag. But what he, in those moments, you're kind of swaying me, because my favorite character in the film the first time I watched it was Thor, because Thor, he has an incredible arc in himself, and you see that emotion come through when he's talking to Rocket Raccoon, and just those tears, and I didn't even notice the first time that there were tears, but there were tears coming down his eyes, and I'm like, my God, Thor, he really has lost it all, man. He's lost everything. I mean, half of his people. We don't know where the other half is, but he's lost half of his people, his brother, his mother, his father, his sister, who was evil. But I was on the Thor train the first time I watched it, but the more you talk about what Iron Man did and what Tony did as a character, I do believe he is just, I think he's the best hero in this movie. I really do. And Doctor Strange kind of creeping up on those two, because
he's up there as well.
He was fantastic, man. His job is to protect the Earth, and he did everything that he could. And I do believe there are some things in there at the end. We'll get into that in just a second. He made some contingencies to what happens to all of our heroes. But right now, let's hit on the cameos real quick. We got cameos. One thing that I did predict was that Nick Fury was going to show up in this movie. Devin, how did you feel about that really intense, almost like biblical after credit scene, seeing those people disappear?
Yeah, that's one thing that it was for me, is whenever that ending happens and you start to see all these Avengers that we love and know start to disappear, I'm like, why on earth did they not show the people? That's what I was wanting to see. I was wanting to see the people, how the world was reacting, because you got to be thinking, a mother and a father, they might be staying and they're watching their children go away. That's something intense. For me. I think I would like to see in a movie to make it more emotional.
Yes, 100%.
And so that was very hard for me. But for the after credit scene, of seeing Nick Fury in there, that gave me made me feel a little bit better. Seeing that, seeing what was going on in America during that time. But and like me and you talked about, I'm really hoping when this next movie comes out that it starts off like that, so you can see how much payback the Avengers really have to give at Thanos for what he has done, all the heartache he has caused, because it's not just the Avengers that are feeling this pain. You got to think about all the people in the earth and all around the universe that are feeling the pain that, the Avengers are feeling as well,
Give me some shots of what you just said. Give me some shots around the world, man. Children disappearing from their parents disappearing from their children, families being cut in half or disappearing altogether. I want the next movie, because we ended this one with heartache. Let's begin the next one with heartache, or at least a little bit, just to get us back to that emotional side that we were feeling going out of this film. And I thought, at least, whether it's Maria Hill or Nick Fury, I thought one of them would survive. I didn't think they would take them both out, but then you see that, and he clicks that button at the last daggone second, and we see the tease that is going to get, maybe not everybody in the theater, but is going to make Captain Marvel a lot of money, because I do believe that wasn't just an end credit scene. I think that's the end of the movie. And the people that were walking out, I'm like, you guys, what are you doing? I mean, this is the end of the film. This scene is detrimental to the plot, and I think Captain Marvel is going to play a massive role in the next movie, and I can't wait for her film, first off, to see how she started, because it takes place in the 90s. We get to see Agent Coulson and Nick Fury without his eye patch, which I'm really excited about. Also, Ronan, the Accuser from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, is in that movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's so many characters that we know and love coming back, but I just think seeing Captain Marvel was awesome.
If you're watching this and you are a Marvel fan, then you know. But if you're watching this and you're not a Marvel fan, do not ever go into a movie theater watching a Marvel movie and leave right after the movie's over.
Stupid.
That is so stupid. Gosh.
I wanted to scream. I was hoping you would, because he's more likely to scream at them than...
I don't care. I'll let you know. You're stupid.
Stupid.
Gosh.
Idiots. I completely and utterly agree with you there. Why would you leave? Why would you leave? But it wasn't just that scene that a lot of people were missing. There were also some characters, Devin, that were missing from this movie, and a lot of people were wondering, where's Ant-Man? Where's Hawkeye on the posters? Because we know they were filming. We know Jeremy Renner was there, but where was he? Well, guess what? They didn't even show up. They were name dropped, but they did not show up in the film. Now, we're going to get a little explanation with Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think that movie is going to take place prior to Infinity War, and then maybe by the end you start seeing people disappear. Maybe that's how the movie ends. But Hawkeye, the Russo brothers came out and said that he was very important to this story. So we know he's going to be in the next one. Where was he in do you have any thoughts on that? Where was Hawkeye and Ant-Man?
I really have no thoughts on it. My thoughts on it is I hope and pray that he did not disappear.
I do too. I do too.
I mean, I hope it doesn't open up with the scene of him, because you think back to Civil War.
Yeah.
You take him back to his family.
Not Civil War, sorry. No, his family.
Back to his Civil War. It was in
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron, yeah. You know, they're going there to the hiding place. I hope it doesn't go there and he starts to see his family disappear.
Oh, maybe that's what you were talking about 5 minutes ago. Maybe that's where it starts.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Him starting there and then him getting really ticked off, and he could be.
Say the movie
Say
the movie starts out with Ant-Man losing his daughter and Hawkeye losing his wife, or maybe one of his children. How gut-wrenching,
guys,
would that be?
I'm here to tell you right now. Go ahead and watch this. This movie's famous because we're going to become script writers.
Oh, my God.
Because that would be... I would watch that movie.
Wow.
I would watch that movie.
Oh, that would break... Oh, my God, that would absolutely break my heart. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. But I know there's going to be a lot of death in the next movie, because the heroes that they left with us are kind of like the OGs. They were the original Avengers, you know, and I think they're going to be the ones to have to maybe sacrifice one or two of them to save the day and bring back our other heroes. I think it's going to be kind of a reverse effect, which is going to be horrible. But it's not only we're losing people in Avengers 4, we also lost a lot of people in Avengers 3. Devin, what's going on with the deaths here? Because we're going to do pre-snap and post-snap. So pre-snap, we lose Loki right off the back.
Yeah.
We lose Heimdall, which that one got me just as much as Loki, because I think Idris Elba is great in that role. Then we lose Gamora. And then it looked like we lost Vision twice, technically.
Yes, twice.
But we lost Vision. Well, let's talk about that first before I get into post-snap. How do you feel about the deaths that I personally hope kind of stick? How do you feel about losing those guys?
I think I like those deaths right there.
I do too.
And you know, I agree with you, and that's one thing we talked about. I think those people that died right there, there is no going back and saving them.
I hope not.
I'm okay with that. I will tell you the hardest death for me right there before pre-snap was Gamora. Okay, because I am a big Star-Lord fan. I love Star-Lord, and his love for Gamora was. It was awesome. They had a great relationship, and I feel very, 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 very sad for Star-Lord, because you know this is going to be something very, very big for him coming next movie. You know, keep thinking over and over in his head the death of his lover, and so that for me was one of the hardest deaths to watch. And plus the relationship between Gamora and this idiot right here. Right? Just
stupid.
That was a hard death for me.
Yeah,
that father and daughter relationship is always a special relationship. So just watching that, like, how could you do that? You know,
I think that's part of the reason what makes Thanos the best villain we've ever seen in the MCU, because seeing those tears come from a man like that, seeing tears come from his eyes, Gamora might be the only thing that he loved. It's the reason he took her to that planet. Thing. And oh my God, Devin, we didn't even talk about Red Skull. We didn't talk about Red Skull in the cameos.
We did not do that. That's all right.
Holy cow. Seeing Red Skull come back, you freaked out. I freaked out the first time. That was my biggest freak out, was seeing Red Skull. And then I noticed you did the exact same thing that I did the first time. How'd you feel about seeing him back?
For me, it was a big eye-opener because, first of all, I'll be honest with you, I haven't been the best Marvel fan lately, just been busy with the new job and everything.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I haven't went back and watched all of them in a while. So seeing them for the first time, I was like, whoa. Just took me back. You know? Like, he's supposed to be dead.
He's dead.
He's supposed to be dead. And so to see him there, and then you start thinking, okay, well, what on earth is he doing there, and what it all is his job now there, and all that. So it was very confusing for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that would be like if I didn't have someone like you, because you're a good guy. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, but that would be something for me if I wasn't the biggest Marvel fan. It would be I'd have to go online and probably search that up to see. But
yes,
now that you've explained to me, I understand. But yes, that would be probably very confusing if I watched that and seen that happening. So
I am sure there were a handful more than that in the theater that did not know who he was, first of all,
yeah,
and what he was doing. I mean, to me, it looks like he was the guardian of the Soul Stone, and he made a trade-off. His life to be the protector of one of the final Infinity Stones, and he has lived a long, empty, desolate life on that planet. And you see him, and are they setting up for another showdown between him and Captain America maybe in the near future? My goodness
I never even thought
gracious. I wanted to see him the first time I watched the movie, maybe go back to Earth and duke it out with Cap, but I'm like, no, let's save that for Avengers 4, Devin,
cool.
because I think that's coming.
That would be awesome.
Oh, I think
And
that's coming.
imagine Cap's face when he sees him. That will be awesome if that does happen. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, it might be a Chris Evans shining moment right there. I mean, we love the reveal of Bucky as Winter Soldier, but my God, the reveal of Red Skull coming back. His first, really his biggest villain we've ever seen in the comic books and in the movies. But Devin, we also had something happen after Thanos did that little thing with his fingers. Yeah. What were your thoughts on seeing... I don't even want to name them all. Let's just look around this cup. The majority of the people on this cup, I mean, you've got Doctor Strange and Star-Lord, and I think the most emotional thing of the film was Spider-Man's death. How did that take a toll on you?
Yeah, the Spider-Man's death was very hard, and that's why I was talking to you guys. You guys got to think, okay, he's just a kid, right? And that, what is he, 15 maybe?
Yeah, 16 at this point, 16.
Yeah. Just, imagine being that age and seeing that you're going to die, and... He has got so much potential, and I think he knows that too. He just sees life go away. But I want to tell you what was hard for me to watch too was Bucky's death.
Yes,
it was Bucky's death.
Chris Evans' face, man.
Yeah, just because he just got back to who he truly is, and Cap's really finally getting to see who he is again. Because they were best friends forever, and he's just getting to see him again, and it's like, bye. You know what I mean? And so that was hard for me too. When he looks up and says.
Yeah,
it was hard.
I think the biggest thing for me, honestly, and the best line in the movie, comedy, serious, emotional, was that last line of the film when Captain America, you see the heroes lined up, and he looks up and he says, "Oh God." Yeah. He says, "Oh God," not just, "Oh God, what has just happened?" But at this point, Thanos has declared himself a god. I mean, he is. At this point above Thor, I mean, it's, oh God, is how you feel walking out of the movie, and just Steve Rogers' face. That is acting 101, man.
It's the first time you really see him defeated, too, Cap.
They're all,
I mean, all of them defeated.
Completely.
But especially Cap. It's hard to break his spirit, and his spirit was broken.
Hopeless, emotional. I mean, just that was horrible. And the interaction between him and Bucky was great. I want to talk about some of the other interactions real quick before we wrap this up. I think Rocket and Thor, their interactions, I think might have been my favorite of the entire movie. Yeah. And then that little thing at the end, you've got a Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, and Okoye from Black Panther. That was cool, right? Seeing those girls come together and fight like that. What were some of your favorite interactions in the movie?
Rocket and Groot. I don't know why.
Groot.
I just lost it, okay? But their interactions are always
They're
awesome.
always great.
But I just think it's so cool because especially when I'm a middle school teacher, just seeing I deal with teenagers all the time. Always telling them to put that game down and all that. That was because we've talked about a lot of serious stuff, but that was good comic relief.
It was.
Their interactions between those two was pretty funny.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
And then walking out of the movie, Devin went and hugged a tree in the parking lot and
did.
said, "Groot!"
I did go outside. And I did hug a tree.
You tree hugger. I thought that was the funniest thing. That was fantastic. And there are some other things that I want to talk about real quick, Devin. I know we love the movie. We both loved it. And I know you guys just saw my ranking of the Marvel films. Man, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, maybe I like it more than the Avengers. But some moments that we didn't love, I'll start out. I think there was a line in there, Scarlet Witch looking at the television screen. She looks at the television and talking to Vision. She goes, "What are they?" I thought that was just the cheesiest thing, man. And at the end, some of the CGI don't pay attention, well, I'll just say it because it's a spoiler review. Mark Ruffalo and the Hulkbuster at the end, that final shot, I thought that looked horrible. I really did. Overall, I thought the CGI was good. And then some characters, I don't think they used them as much as I wanted to.
That's what I was going to say. I like Hulk. I'm a big fan of Hulk, too.
Yeah.
I just wish that I could have seen more of him. That fight scene at the end, I thought for sure
he would pop out.
He was going to come back out, and the Hulk's going to be the Hulk we always know. Yeah. You get him ticked off, he's ready to fight, but I didn't get to see that, and so that's what I was hoping. And what we talked about, Hulk has never, ever, in my knowledge of, been defeated.
Got his butt whooped.
Got his butt whooped. And so I think Hulk is scared.
He is. He's absolutely
Hulk is very scared, and so I am excited to see when the next movie comes out what Bruce Banner is going to do.
Yes.
To get Hulk back out. So, but I think that's what the whole next movie is going to be: is how do you dust your shoulders off, lick your wounds, and get back up. We're going to have to see that with every character. So.
I love that. And I love the arcs of all of the characters. We don't know how it's going to come full circle, but like you said, Bruce Banner has to deal with bringing the Hulk back out. Iron Man has to deal with losing his protege. Steve Rogers is dealing with losing Bucky. Every character, and the resolve of the relationship between Scarlett Johansson and Mark Ruffalo. That is something that I kind of wanted to see play out a little bit more. But overall, those are minor critiques. I have watched it twice. Both times, I had the exact same reaction. My heart was actually beating faster in the second screening because I knew the devastation that was coming to our characters. And even when I knew it was coming, I still absolutely got gut punched by it. Devin, do you have any final thoughts about this experience of a movie?
I think you were feeling like that because you knew that I was going to be very hurt.
I'm like...
Yeah, he just kept looking at me.
Yeah.
Awesome movie. And like I said, this was my childhood.
Yeah.
And so it was very emotional. To see this movie, see it starting to come to an end. I'm excited and I was happy, but leaving that movie, I was pretty upset.
Yeah.
I was pretty upset.
Yeah.
But I am excited to see what is to come, because in life, all good things have to come to an end.
Oh man, that's the best way to go out. And this is the end of what we have known from the MCU for 10 years. And for that, I am excited. I just hope we survive until next year. Knock on wood.
Please, Lord. Don't let me die.
Don't let me die, baby.
Lord, I want to come see you, but not until next year, okay?
Bring me back.
At least.
So I know you guys have kind of noticed that we have left a certain individual out of this video. We haven't talked about Thanos, but I truly believe he is the best villain Marvel has ever given us.
Absolutely.
But since we have went so long already, Devin, I say we save that for a separate video.
Yeah.
I say we talk a little bit about Thanos. What do you say, tomorrow morning? Does that sound good? Well, we're going to do it right now, but I'm going to edit it.
Okay, yeah. All right, sounds good.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Baby, come on now. So I am very excited to tell you guys why I think Thanos is the best villain, maybe the biggest threat we have ever seen in a single film. I'll explain that to you guys later. Devin, where can the people find you online?
You can follow me on Twitter, just at Devin Clevenger. And I'm a pretty simple guy, so that's about all I've got.
Yeah.
So you can follow me there.
Yeah, you can follow him there. And if you guys haven't checked out MovieBabbleReviews.com, be sure to go check out that website for some amazing articles. Every now and then you're going to see my big head pop up. And later on this week, we have an even longer discussion about some hardcore comic book stories in Avengers Infinity War at popxcast.com. I will leave the link in the description. You guys are the absolute best. And we will see you very soon.